What a week here on Retiring Well. We're excited that you've tuned in and joining us here for the next 30 minutes, all about retirement planning information. First, as we near the end of the year here, Virgil's going to come on and talk about 2025 contribution limits. It's just around the corner, and what does that look like for you that are still working and contributing to those plans? Then John and Ashley are going to join us and talk about debt management. You know, do you have debt out there, whether that's mortgage, car loans, credit card, all the various debt out there? What does that look like for different stages of life, especially heading into retirement? And then I'm going to talk about what are you doing to get ready for your retirement? Are you being your own advocate for your retirement planning journey? If you haven't retired, you're not going to want to miss that segment. And wrapping up the show this week, we're going to be talking about a retirement planning guide. Jack is going to dive into the guide all about retirement planning, and so you can plan to retire well. All this and so much more coming up this week here on Retiring Well.
Retiring Well, brought to you by Centennial Wealth Advisory, financial advisors specializing in retirement planning and serving all of Northern Michigan. Retiring Well, helping you plan for a successful and comfortable retirement. Retiring Well. Plan to retire well.
The contribution limits for 401k, 403b, 457, and TSP or thrift savings plans are changing for 2025. I'm going to walk through some of those changes today and how they impact your investment options. The 2025 contribution limits are increasing to $23,500, up from $23,000 in 2024. Catch-up contributions for employees 50 and older will remain at $7,500 for a total contribution amount of $31,000 in 2025. The Secure 2.0 Act allows employees between the ages of 60 and 63 a higher catch-up limit of $11,250, and that's up from $7,500. The contribution increase limits are based on changes in the Consumer Price Index. This is set up so that inflation doesn't outpace your ability to save for your financial future. Why should you max out a 401k? It makes sense to contribute the maximum allowable amount to your work retirement plan if you are able to do so. This allows you the ability to build a larger nest egg as you prepare for retirement. Every dollar invested matters, so even if you can't contribute the maximum, you want to contribute as much as you can. When contributing to a 401k, you can take advantage of the power of compounding interest. The more time the funds have to grow, the better. Many 401k plans offer both a traditional and a Roth 401k option, or a combination of the two. The traditional or pre-tax 401k provides you with a tax break now, and then in retirement, when you withdraw your money, you will pay ordinary income tax on the withdrawals. The Roth 401k contribution does not provide a tax break when you make the contribution, but the withdrawals in retirement are tax-free. Future tax rates are unknown, and the decision to contribute to a traditional 401k or a Roth 401k depends on your financial situation. It is wise to discuss your options with a trusted financial professional. And don't forget, you don't want to miss the employer match. If your employer offers a match on your 401k contributions and you don't take advantage of it, you're leaving money on the table. Unless you financially aren't able, it is smart at a minimum to contribute the employer match percentage. With the increases to the different limits now for your retirement plans, it is a good time to reevaluate your contribution amounts, investment selections, and beneficiaries listed in your 401k to make sure they're still all up to date. If you have previously been maxing out your plan, you may need to increase your contribution amount so that you hit the new maximum amount allowed. If you haven't reviewed your investment selections recently, this is a great time to review your current investment selections so you can make sure they match the risk you want to take as you prepare for retirement. When contributing to your 401k, the amount you contribute, the investment options you select, and whether you contribute to a pre-tax or Roth 401k depend on multiple factors. Just some of the factors to consider include your future investment goal, tax implications, now and in retirement, as well as your comfort level with risk. We help our clients walk through an estimate of their income needs and expense amounts in retirement. You need to have a good handle on these amounts to be able to plan well for the future. The work retirement plan is often the largest investment account an individual has to pull from in retirement. This is why it is so important to understand how much you should be investing to make sure you have enough saved to provide your income in retirement. However, your work retirement plan doesn't have to be your only account you use to save and invest for retirement. Some other common accounts people use while planning for retirement include both a traditional and a Roth IRA, as well as a brokerage account. You might be watching this and thinking that this all seems complicated, and you may even feel overwhelmed by all the options. It can be a daunting task to try and figure this out all on your own. Here at Centennial Wealth Advisory, we work closely with our clients to help them understand the process and plan well for their retirement. If you would like to set up a free no-cost consultation with our team, please follow the instructions on the screen. Here at Centennial Wealth Advisory, we take a holistic approach to your financial future. Whether you're currently enjoying your retirement or still working and planning for your retirement, we can provide analysis of your overall financial situation. Finances cause so many people stress, and that stress often can be reduced after walking through your specific situation and helping you have a clear understanding of your finances. We would be honored to meet with you so that we can help you plan to retire well.
Planning is the first step to succeeding. Plan to retire well. The success of your retirement depends on a solid financial plan. If you are retired or nearing retirement, we invite you to an informative live event to help you plan to retire well. There is no cost and no obligation, and dinner is on us. We are Centennial Wealth Advisory, financial professionals, specializing in retirement planning and serving all of Northern Michigan, with offices in Traverse City, Gaylord, Petoskey, and Cadillac. Our presentation will address important questions such as what tax changes are coming in 2025? How will the new administration impact your retirement? How will the Fed impact your retirement portfolio? Are you worried about outliving your retirement savings? How can you maximize your Social Security benefits? And much more. Call 888-608-5825 or register online and choose the date and location that works best for you. Tuesday, January 21st at Boone's Long Lake Inn in Traverse City. Wednesday, January 22nd at Bluefish Kitchen and Bar in Manistee. Thursday, January 23rd at Treetops Conference Center in Gaylord. Or Tuesday, January 28th at the Blue Pelican in Central Lake. The live event starts at 6:30 p.m. and is free to attend with a complimentary gourmet dinner to follow. But seating is limited and tends to fill quickly. Call 888-608-5825 or register online to reserve your seats today. Don't miss this important live event to help you plan to retire well.
So debt management is so vital to any type of financial plan. The younger that you can get that under control, the better off that you're going to be. And Ashley and I recently visited with a woman that was in retirement, and she brought up some really great questions about credit cards. And I know there's a lot of data out there in regards to credit cards.
Yes, the majority of Americans own a credit card, and about 50% pay off their credit cards monthly. And credit card companies don't like that. The risks with owning a credit card, there's varying interest rates, which can be quite high, and it can get out of hand very quickly if not paid off. Credit card rewards points is awesome. There's cashback rewards, travel, grocery rewards, stuff like that you can gain back from the credit cards. So it's great to utilize, but you have to be strategic about it.
Yeah, most definitely. There are different benefits to owning a credit card, but like Ashley said, those when you can pay them off every month and not carry that high interest rate and that debt is going to be so important. when you're building a plan. And I'm fortunate enough, grew up in a house where my parents, unless they had the money sitting in a bank account, they weren't buying something. So unfortunately, it seems a lot of Americans have gone the other way, where they're happy to swipe that credit card, and unfortunately the interest rates are pretty high there. So also you find a lot of times people then are opening multiple credit cards, and then they get into transferring balances from one to another. But again, that comes back to this whole concept of debt management.
Right, yes. Paying off your highest interest rate first and the lowest balance first can also build confidence, but be cautious when closing credit cards, because that can also impact your credit score.
Yeah, and beyond just credit cards, then it comes out to a variety of different loans that you want to be aware of. So obviously the credit cards are going to carry the highest interest rate and everything, but you may want to look at, are there other types of collateral that you can use with the bank when going to do a loan? So your home loan, as an example, if you're a homeowner, that's traditionally going to be the lowest interest rate that you're paying. And maybe if you have built up some equity in your home, then you could utilize that and refinance your mortgage, as an example, pay off those higher interest credit cards, and then you would potentially have a much lower interest rate. You may also be able to look at like an auto loan. If again you have a car that's free and clear, okay, is that something that you should consider? There's other different types of personal loans that the bank may get into. But again, there's opportunities maybe to consolidate your debt and ultimately reduce your interest rates. And again, those credit cards have the highest interest rate. So anything you can do to transition that debt away from the credit cards and more to the personal, the auto, the home, likely the better off you're going to be. And I know there's a client recently that went and found the car of their dreams, I think, right? So,
right,
yeah.
yes, yep. So I was speaking with a client recently, and he bought a vehicle it was around $35,000, and had a great experience with the car dealership and all of those things, and ended up over 5 years. He had a trade-in involved as well, but ended up over 5 years paying about $10,000 in interest. So the goal is to avoid paying those high interests and saving for your retirement instead.
Yeah, so true. I mean, that's when you get down to the bottom line. I mean, maybe you've looked at it with your mortgage over a 30-year time frame, where you say, oh great, I bought this house for X dollar amount, but then when you look and after 30 years of paying interest, you're like, whoa, that's sort of a sticker shock when you see the bottom line numbers. Same is true maybe with buying an automobile or whatever it might be, as Ashley was referencing. But again, it's so vital when it comes to not just your financial planning over the years, but then when it comes to retirement planning. Over the last 20 years here at Centennial Wealth Advisory, I've observed the folks that are in the best position for retirement have ultimately wiped out all of their debt. Or there's the few cases where maybe they still have a mortgage, but it's at a lower interest rate. So again, there's a lot of good information that we try to share with you here on Retiring Well. We've got a YouTube channel that has all this information available to you to not just learn about debt management, but so much more when it comes to retiring, and we hope that you can plan to retire well.
Planning is the first step to succeeding. Plan to retire well. The success of your retirement depends on a solid financial plan. If you are retired or nearing retirement, we invite you to an informative live event to help you plan to retire well. Our presentation will address important questions such as what tax changes are coming in 2025? How will the new administration impact your retirement? How will the Fed impact your retirement portfolio? Are you worried about outliving your retirement savings? How can you maximize your Social Security benefits? And much more. Call 888-608-5825 or register online and choose the date and location that works best for you. The live event starts at 6:30 p.m. and is free to attend with a complimentary gourmet dinner to follow. Call 888-608-5825 or register online to reserve your seats today.
I have a question for you today. What are you doing to get ready for your retirement? So if you're somebody out there that's still working, whether you're 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 years old, but you're still working and you're wanting to retire, what are you doing to get ready for that? My late father-in-law used to have a saying. He was a Vietnam combat veteran, and unfortunately due to blood transfusion in the field got hepatitis, and then eventually had a double organ failure and received a double organ transplant, liver and kidney. So he was in and out of the hospital a lot of times in his life. And when I had first met my wife, we spent a lot of time in the hospital at his bedside at various things. And he always used to say, you have to be your own healthcare advocate. And at first I never really understood what he meant by that, and it kind of went over my head and just didn't think much of it. But as I aged and as I saw him battle these health issues and fight for his life many times, it finally sunk into me as, no one cared more about his health than he did. There was great doctors out there and they did miraculous things for him to prolong his life and use their talents to do many different things. But he went in every single time and he was his own advocate. And I challenge you out there to be your own advocate for your retirement. Nobody out there is going to care as much as you do about your specific retirement, all of its goals, and that's appropriate. We here at Centennial Wealth Advisory, and all of us advisors across Northern Michigan helping people, we absolutely love the chance and the opportunity we get to help people plan for that retirement. But it's still, at the end of the day, it's your retirement. So what does that look like? What does this challenge do? So if this is you, first step is committing to that. You have to look in the mirror and decide, I'm ready to do this. Whether, again, no matter what age this is, and unless you're committed to this process, it's probably not going to work. Commit to be that advocate for yourself and be ready to take the steps to do that. Once you've fully committed and you're ready to take part of that process, you have to attune yourself to it. You have to start realizing what it takes and realizing where you plug into this role. Some people like to do it all themselves, and that's okay, but you have to understand all the necessary steps that's going to. Otherwise, attune yourself to who do you want to be part of that team? What experts do you want to bring in to help you with that? To help with the future retirement income planning, the investment plan, the tax plan. What about estate, long-term care, health care, all these different pieces? Who are you going to bring on this team to help you plan for your retirement and decide what you're going to do to get ready for that? So simply put, is it time for you to do this now? And again, if you don't, that's okay, but then no, it's just furthering the process down the road. Saving in your workplace plan alone is not preparing for your retirement. It's a portion. We need to save, right? But that alone is not enough. There are so many other various things out there that you need to realize and take part of to do that. So again, when you're thinking of this, when you're watching this episode and the continuing other retiring well things that we put out there for your consumption and education on retirement, think to yourself, am I ready to commit to building this retirement plan? Folks come in from all over Northern Michigan, they call us from the show and they ask about very specific questions sometimes, but some of the ones is that I always get a kick out of and we probably get the most of is, can I retire? Ask yourself that question and answer it very, very seriously. If it's I don't know, that's okay, but that tells you now is the time to start building this process out. Give us a call at the number on the screen and sit down and we start walking through that process with you, building out that plan. So again, whether you're 30 years from retirement, 3 years, or you wanted to retire 3 months ago, again, this is why this all comes down to this process and why it is so important to commit to that process and be your own advocate for this retirement journey. It's not going to come overnight. And again, it's not just simply putting money away. There is much, much more to it. And if you want to find out about all these steps and you want somebody to walk along this journey with you, we'd love to be that option here at Centennial Wealth Advisory. We've helped many people across Northern Michigan and beyond do that for their retirement so you can live out your goals, your aspirations, and all the things you worked so hard for so you can plan to retire well.
Finding a reputable business shouldn't require luck. or chance. But how can you tell who you can trust? Pro tip: the BBB connects people with businesses they can trust. So think of the BBB as the better. Check with the BBB first, because better businesses are honest and commit to high ethical standards bureau. That's why they're better. Always look for the sign of a better business and find a better business anytime at bbb.org.
What I want to share with you today is the connection between financial wellness and physical and emotional health. And I want to draw that to you through a few statistics, and then I'm going to talk to you about solutions. So I don't want to just list the problem, but I also share with you possible solutions for you. So this is from a Market Watch guide survey of 2,000 Americans. So I'll read some of this really quick, and then like I said, I'll talk to you about possible options for you to have peace of mind through this. So 65% say finances are their biggest source of stress. Number 2, 41% agreed that my finances have destroyed my mental health. That's a pretty big statement. Number 3, 57% said they must choose between prioritizing their finances or their mental health. 4, 92% reported negative physical effects due to their financial stress. Number 5, 56% reported losing sleep because of financial stress. Number 6, 45% reported headaches due to financial stress. And number 7, 38% complained of fluctuations in weight because of the financial stress. So as you can see from these survey results, there's a lot of worry and stress out there, and it's connected not only to their physical but their mental health due to their finances. This is something that a lot of people are worried about and having to deal with, and you might be one of them as well. However, here at Centennial Wealth Advisory, we've helped thousands of clients and people all over northern Michigan work through these stresses. Our goal is to move you from a point of fear and stress to a point of peace of mind. And we have the tools and the ability to provide you with the solutions that can help you do that. So we'd be more than happy to meet with you. And throughout this series, that's what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about what are the issues as far as impacting me that are causing me to not be financially well. We're going to have some fun with that and correlate that to your physical and emotional health. But the key thing is we want to move you from a place of fear and concern and worry to a place of peace of mind.
Hey, welcome to this segment on Retirement Planning Guide. I'm going to be able to give you 10 things of punch list activities that you might want to do as you prepare for your retirement. As I see so many people that come into our office, they get so excited about what retirement looks like and how that's going to play out and all the things that they want to do. And I couldn't help but think of a family trip we went on last spring break. We had the opportunity to get my family, my wife Jody, my 4 kids, my parents, and my best friend Aaron, and we decided we're going to go on a cruise. And it was so exciting to think about everything that we were going to be able to do, how we were going to relax. And as we were preparing for that trip, there were a lot of logistics that we had to put in place. In fact, we made a punch list ourselves. And so we said, okay, well, here's how much money we have. Now we're going to have a little bit of budget for fun. What fun is out there? What activities can we do on the cruise ship? What activities can we do as excursions? What kind of memories do we want to make? And what do we need to prepare for? What happens if somebody gets sick? What kind of clothes do we need to bring? What does the dining look like at night? And quick side note, it was awesome. My kids sat for sometimes an hour and a half to 2 hours around a table and we just talked. It was phenomenal. But as we had that happen, we get into retirement planning. We're saying, okay, this is an exciting time for you. Let's go through a punch list so that you can prepare as best. And even if you're in retirement, this might still be a good punch list for you to go through. So the first one is we want to save regularly for your retirement. As you prepare for living, the last season of your life, you want to make sure that you run out of life before you run out of money. And so if you're in the habit of regularly saving, that means that you're not living on more than you make. And you've created margin and cushion in your budget. And the people that have margin and cushion in their budget have a different level of peace as they go through life like that. The next thing is to maybe maximize your 401k match. Too many times we see clients come in and maybe it's a 401k, maybe it's a simple IRA. These have match provisions to them, and the client simply isn't taking advantage of that. And that could be for expenses are too high or spending and lifestyle is too much, but that's free money in essence. So by you contributing to those retirement plans, you're getting the match and aka the free money that's helping you grow your investment accounts and help you prepare for retirement. So I would drill down, what is your match? Are you maximizing it? The next thing is to look at the different retirement account tax breaks. So if you know where you are in the tax brackets, are you in the 12% bracket? Are you in the 22%, the 24, the 32? What tax bracket are you in, and which retirement account are you utilizing? Are you being tax efficient, and are you becoming tax diversified? So those are important things to look at. Next thing, sometimes it might require you to open up a traditional IRA, or for tax planning, a Roth IRA. Right now, the limits on that for a traditional or Roth IRA, $7,000 per person per year in 2024. And then if you're 50 or older, you can go up to $8,000 per person. The next thing would be to carefully select your investment allocation. The market is just full of awesome investment options. And so as you learn about what the market is producing for your investment options, you're going to want to make sure that your goals are aligned with the investments that you currently have. And there's a lot of misalignment that we find. And so if you're sitting there saying, yeah, I'm not really sure I'm really that educated on what's out there in the market. Obviously, we're an education first company. We love to be able to sit down in an individualized way, no pressure, no obligation, just get to be that coach alongside of you and teach you and let you make the decisions based on the information that you receive. The next thing, a lot of times as you're preparing for retirement, you're in your accumulation stage. And so you're going to want to be very fee conscious. Know your fees. Know what you're getting in return. Are there investment allocations that are less fees that would give you a better chance for accumulation? Again, we do this analysis all the time. So feel free to use us as a resource or put it on your list and figure it out. If you go online, there are so many retirement planning tools. We have some of our favorites that we use to individualize called Retirement Analyzer. It's a great way to bring a plan together, but there's a lot of free tools out there. So you can see a big picture when you use those tools. Next thing is to boost your Social Security benefit, okay? So if you've been working for 35 years, do you have your highest average 35 years, or do you need to work a couple more years to kick out some of the lower income years? Finally, make sure that you're signing up for Medicare on time. So age 65, if you're not working, you got a window there. And then if you continue to work, you have a couple different options. Just be sure that you're on those deadlines in how it applies to you. And then finally, making sure your assets know where to go. Having a great estate plan will make sure that you get to pass on only gifts, not the stress of eventual death. I hope you have a great day. Thanks so much.